This is Nana from Medina Talk Yabi.
Hey guys, this is Denise from Medina Talks Yabi
Tune in every week for the jokes, laughs,
and great vibes.
and serious matters.
Hey Uncle!
How you doing,
Love!
Venice?
How you doing, Uncle?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
good, you know. I'm good, you know. How are you? You good, yeah?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Guys, I posted a video, I think it was a week ago, and I reposted it today
Mm-hmm.
in regards to a a husband was with his mother, and he's going to pick up his wife. I don't know what happened before the filming started, but the wife was annoyed that the mother wouldn't get out of the car and sit at the back. And a lot of harsh words were used, mostly on the wife's side because she seemed annoyed. Um, so, as you can see in the pinned comment, I think, Nana, you should go off only because it's based on if it's your mum and your wife that are arguing, is it your duty to intervene intervene and tell the wrong that they're wrong, or do you just sit back and just like what would you do if that was the case if it was your mum and your wife?
I think you do have a duty to intervene. Obviously, we don't know the full context of their
100%.
relationship, but the
Yeah.
wife, how she approached her mother-in-law was very disrespectful. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when people get married, you know, sometimes not everyone has a brilliant in-law, and that's a fact. Do you know what I mean? You know, everyone's marriage and family dynamics, you know, is kind of each to their own in it, you
Yeah.
know. But I think how the wife approached and commanded herself towards her mother-in-law was disrespectful, because when she said, "Oh, you know, I get that it's your mom and everything," and you know, and she's like, "You know, bitch, you got no, 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 no." She shouldn't have. She could have approached it differently, because I think obviously, say if your in-law, if your mum and your, all right, let's just focus on the video and then we'll branch out. But
Yeah.
that she could have approached it differently and said, "Look, mum, yeah, I know you haven't seen your son for a while, but mum, you know, like I don't know whether it's his car or her car, but mum, like, come on, ma, like, do you know what I mean?" Or and maybe the mum would have been more likely to be like, "Okay, you know what, hun, I'm gonna go in the back." Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But I think immediately she approached her mother-in-law disrespectful. She was very rude. So that's not gonna get mum out of the car any quicker. You're gonna go at it, you know. But I think she should have humbled herself. Whether she's pissed off or not, she has to show some humility. At the end of the day, that's his mum, that's your mother-in-law. If she had come with a bit more respect towards her mother-in-law, then maybe the mother-in-law would have most likely would have moved and be like, "Okay, my dear," or something like that. But then if the mother-in-law um if the mother-in-law was rude to her, if the mother-in-law was rude to her, and then she wasn't rude, then everyone would call out. Everyone would call out the mum. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And say, "Well, actually, you know what? You've been sorry, but your daughter-in-law was being respectful to you, and you're being difficult." I think I think in general, for me, I'm not saying don't call out your parents when they're wrong, because parents are parents. But I think
Yeah.
when your parents are wrong, you can challenge them respectfully and say to them, because he could have said, "Mum, you know what, mum?" But like I said, we don't know the context of their relationship. But he could say, "Mum, look, I mean, I ain't seen you for a while, but mum, you know, my wife is here and everything." And, do you know what I'm trying to say to you? He could have done it that way. He could have. But I think immediately his wife put him in a position whereby he was already he was already in the middle, and he was like, "But I love but it's my wife, you know, but I love my mom. I haven't seen her since Corona." And she's like, "Absolutely not." Because she's like, "Bitch, get to the back." And that's disrespectful. You can't. You
That's
have to
total
you
disrespect.
can't you can't do that, because then you're not gonna get mum out of the car to move. Maybe if you attacked it differently, maybe if you said, "Mum, come on, mum, like it's our car," then mum might be like, "Okay, hon," and move. She didn't. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say to you? So, but we don't know the full content of their relationship. It could be that that mum is a monster-in-law. We don't know the full dynamic of their relationship. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? We don't know what it's like. The mum could be a monster-in-law because as she said, well, you know, I know that's your mum and everything. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, I'm not saying you can't be his mum, but we don't know. We don't know the full context. But from what I got, it appeared that the mum carried herself with class and etiquette, and her daughter-in-law didn't. Do you know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say to you? Which is why he said, babe, but it's my mum, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? She's like, stop being a mama's boy. It's like, it's not even about that. It's how you actually command yourself. And I get that, and Kat is saying it below. I get that sometimes I think the generation that we're living in now, yeah, sometimes the generation before us, like our parents' generation, they don't always get everything that we say. They don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you? There has to be a point whereby even our parents have to understand that times are different. But that doesn't mean that you don't have respect. And I think for me, respect is a big thing. And I think that the daughter-in-law didn't command herself well at all to have even got the mum to kind of even try and get on side and be like, actually, you know what? I need to maybe I should get out of the car. It's my daughter-in-law. Do you know what I mean? She didn't do that. So I think the daughter-in-law could have commanded herself better in response to her mother-in-law. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? That's my take on it. But like I said, we don't know the full context or dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah, like for me, I think that I'm just like, where has the respect gone? Obviously, I can only go and base it on the clip that I saw.
Yeah.
I think that the whole was very, very petty. There didn't need to be an argument. I felt like the wife, unless it was a free door, and the wife was pregnant, or she had a broken leg, there was no issue for her to be sitting at the back. Does that make sense?
There was no
issue.
Yeah, there's no issue.
And stuff like that. So I felt like that was not needed. For instance, if my husband was picking me up from work and his mum was in the car, and even if it's a free door, or it doesn't matter how many doors, unless I'm pregnant or whatever, I don't want to be climbing into the back. I thought it'd be courtesy for them. I wouldn't say nothing, but in my head it'd be like, oh, you know. But even though it's a free door, I wouldn't expect her to then like shift everything because she's my mother-in-law, she's an elder. However, when it comes to like him and his male friends or something, unless they're getting out the car first, then okay, it makes sense. But if it was a four door, I wouldn't ask, but I'll be like, let's see how much respect that he has for me. Is he going to sit at the back and stuff like that? Do you get where I'm coming from? Because you are just a friend. But when it comes to my mother-in-law, it wouldn't even bother me if she sat at the front.
This is what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't.
And I felt like she was being hella rude. I was like, this is disgusting. And I'm just like, do you know what? Like, imagine if a man was speaking to my mum like that. It would be a wrap.
That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
It will be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be a wrap. So I just felt
exactly. No, I agree with you. And like I said, because I mean, I've got examples whereby like when my grandma and grandpa are here, and we're going out, like my dad would be like, oh, auntie, do you want to sit at the front? Like he would tell my grandma, oh, auntie, you know, and that's not even his mum. Oh, auntie, do you want to sit in the front? And she'll sit next to him, and my mum's cool with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you, or vice versa, or even if exactly. It's called respect, and I think for me, how you are the individual, particularly with your in-laws, like for me, particularly when you're marrying into a family or something like that, respect is a big thing. I'm trying to say to you, and I agree with Kat. It's not even that deep. It's about a seat. But I think the dynamics between the mum and the daughter-in-law is not a good one anyway. Which is why she went and said what she said.
Why? And I feel like whoever is the middle person really needs to be tough, because I know me, I'm a very tough person. So if something was wrong or whatever, I'm like, you guys need to sort it out now. And because I'm the kind of person, I'll tell Beth, like, if you're both in the wrong, I'll tell you that you're in the wrong.
Exactly.
I have no problem. Literally, I have no problem telling someone that that they're in the wrong, I feel no way about it. Whether it's my mum, you are in the wrong, we could dispute about it,
Yeah,
but I know I'm right.
of
And
course,
to the other party. And I will cut that, like, I'll nip that shit in the bud. None of this whole, there's going to be, for the rest of my life, I'm going to have you guys at wars. No, you guys are going to be best of friends from today. Like, from today.
Yeah.
I'm not playing no games. And I feel like not a lot of people will stand up to their parents. I think
But
that's what the issue is as well. So say if, yeah, the relationship wasn't good, I don't agree with the wife being rude to the mum.
Yeah.
There's a respect in that. However, you don't know if she was rude to her first. I don't know, but the mum did seem a bit humble. But I feel like a lot of people, most likely to be the sons, women's, I don't feel like you get that kind of, trouble. I think a woman will tell her mum. But I feel like
the men,
when it comes to men, I feel like they struggle to confront their mum on their wrongs, and I think that's an issue.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, because even for me, I would say that I'm very respectful, and do you know what I mean? And maybe when I was younger, if my parents were in the wrong, I wouldn't really go and say anything. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But as I've got older, even me, mom and dad, no disrespect to them, but if they're in the wrong, they're getting called out. They are getting called out, because at the end of the day, what I see is that you're a parent, you're my parent, but that doesn't make you immune to not being wrong at anything. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? You're also accountable when you're wrong. So even if it's your parents, if your parents are in the wrong, it's not about you cussing them off. You don't cuss them off. No, but you tell them, mum and dad, you know what? You're wrong because of ABC 1, 2, 3. That is the reason why you're wrong. But because the way in which she did it, the manner in which she did it was disrespectful. She didn't say, but ma, look, all the time, like, this is what's happening. And I think that in terms of challenging parents, it's not about cussing them off. Every single child, yeah, and you're an adult, you can challenge your parents. You can challenge your parents. I thought even me, my mom and dad. Mom and dad
now I can.
If mom and dad say to me, jump, I'm not saying how high. I'm saying why. I'm saying why. But I'm saying it respectfully.
We're adults now.
We're adults now. So they can't come and say, if they're in the wrong, say, mom and dad, I'm sorry. I love you a lot. You're wrong here.
You're incorrect.
You're incorrect. That doesn't mean I don't have respect for you. It just means where I think you're wrong, I'm calling you out on it. And the thing is, and I think what you mentioned is important, because I think a lot of time when it comes to marriage, a lot of the times, I think, like for me, if that was my wife and she's talking to my mom like that, I'm cussing my wife. I'm saying, excuse me, don't talk to my mom like that.
But he knows. But you know what? He knew what you kind of see. You know what your woman is. If she's very feisty, she's out like that. You would know. It's not just. I know that it was probably certain things that was happening before the marriage. I felt like these problems should have been sorted out before the marriage.
Before the marriage, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knew what
it should have been. I agree. It should have been ironed out before the marriage. I'm to say to you, because at the end of the day, like I think the issue is like, I can speak from like my dad, for example. If I'll say to you that my dad hasn't clashed with my grandma, I'll be lying to you. But he still gives her the respect as his mother-in-law. But he will say to her, auntie, you know what? Respectfully, you're wrong. And my grandma won't really, she'll challenge him, but because he's saying to her, auntie, look, you are wrong on this, and I'll tell you why. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? You know what I mean? Because the way I see it, I'm, as human beings, disagreements is part of life. You have to disagree, because at the end of the day, people, everyone's not going to be aligned to your way of thinking. But if you're going to challenge someone, challenge them in a respectful manner. That's the point. And particularly when it comes to parents and it comes to in-laws, like the Real Supreme, he mentioned and said that, when you're married, yes, for some people, it can be very, very difficult, Venice, because some people are in the middle. It's like, well, what do I do? It's my wife and it's my mum. And it's like, well, if I go and say that my mum is wrong, then my wife's going to think that I'm not being loyal to her. But if I go and defend my mum, if I go and defend my wife, my mum's going to think I'm loyal to her. And the thing is, I think the point for me is that the issue that I have is, let's take the person who's in the middle. The people on the outside are making it about themselves, yeah? they're more thinking about their own needs. Now they're not thinking about the person who's in the middle, because it's easy to be like, well, the person in the middle didn't go and say anything. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Some people are like, well, you know what? If it's my mum's wrong, my mum is wrong, and my wife is right. If my wife is right, if my wife is wrong, she's wrong.
Yeah, do you know what?
People need... Go on.
Yeah, I feel like for the man, yeah, it's gonna be very hard, because now when he starts having children with his wife, it's gonna be so peak for the grandma. That whole relationship
exactly, because
the woman will have charge.
Exactly, and the woman will take charge, you see. But it goes back to what the real Supreme said. You have to marry somebody who shares the same values as you, especially when it comes to respect. If you're a person and you carry respect and integrity, respect carries you far. It does carry you far, particularly when you're meeting someone. Because I'll say for me, any girl that I've been with, yeah, and her parents have met me, they've had no issue with me being respectful. Because end of the day, how I command myself and how I carry myself is important. Even if I don't end up being with you or marrying you, I'd like to think your parents can say, you know what, this guy here, yeah, he wasn't the one, but he damn well carried himself with respect. It's a big thing. But I think a lot of the times, respect is getting lost in relationships. I'm trying to say to you, because we're focused on other
they never
things.
had it in their houses. That's why. Do you know why?
Because maybe in their houses,
blame the person.
Yeah.
You blame. So, for instance, yeah, you have a friend, yeah, and you walk into their house, right? If someone invites me to their house, yeah, I will say, oh, your parents in, so I can say hi, because I'm in my
like, I'll call your mum or auntie. Straight standard. I'm not gonna call your mum by her first name, because I'm not raised that way.
Yeah,
I'm not raised that way, because for me, if I go to your house and I call your mum by her first name, I swear, if I told my mum and dad this, they will actually slap me and be like, listen, we didn't raise you to be like that. We didn't raise you, because when you carry yourself outside of the home, you're carrying how we raised you inside the home. So if I come and see your mum and I be like, oh, hi, like when I saw your mum on live, I said, oh, hi, mum, because that for me is a big thing. I don't want your mum to think, well, this guy ain't got respect. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, like, yes, and that's what I do. So I would like look for their parents if they're in their house. If your parents in the house, because this is their house, I want to say hi. How are you? Make conversation and whatnot. But then you got some people that they won't even like. Oh no, she's just in the front room, and they allow their friends to run up in their house. It's that person's fault as well.
Yeah. But I think though, you have to put your partner. But the thing is though, I think you have to also put. It goes back to what the real Supreme said. You have to also put your partner in check, because the moment you get in the door, if you know your parents have a certain standard, you got to police your partner to say,
100%.
When you come to my house, this is it. I'm trying to say to you, even if yeah, you've told them, your parents don't have to know you've told your partner this, or your girlfriend, or whoever you bring to the house. It's just like so your parents will know that actually, you know what, this person here has got respect for us, so we can actually accommodate them. Do you know what I mean? In the first instance, But I think the reality is this lady, how she was to her mother-in-law, sorry, was bang out of order. No matter how angry she was.
Let's change the narrative. Yeah. So say if it was your mum that started it first, yeah, and then she retaliated out of anger. What do you then do? Would you then tell off the wife, or would you tell them both off?
The thing is, for me, I would tell them both off. I would say to my wife, you can't be disrespectful. But I'll say to my mum, at the end of the day, you are a parent as well. That's your daughter-in-law as well. So you've got a duty of care. The way I see it, yeah, when you become an in-law, you will have a certain level of care or duty of care for your daughter-in-law or son-in-law, what have you. So yes, my mum will be right to respond and be like, yeah, but she's this. I'll be like, but mum, listen, I'll be like, to my wife, first and foremost, yeah, you can't be speaking to my mum like that. That is disrespectful, which is why my mum has given you the reception she's given you. But then I will say,
no, that's not what I said.
Huh?
I said, yeah, that wasn't scenario. I said, yeah.
I said I called them both out.
If your mom, no, but if your mom started cussing her, whatever, and then she retaliated out of self-defense.
Oh, then my mom's getting it. Mum, sorry, you're wrong. My mom's getting it. Then my mom's getting it. If my mum went and cussed her off, and she did, say if it was the other way around, and my mum did it, then my mom's getting called out. But mum, sorry, mum, you're out of line. You are out of line. She didn't do anything. But she's responding to how you've been. Because the reality is, just because you're my mum, you have to understand you can't be speaking to people like that. And I won't allow you to speak to people like that because you're in the wrong. That doesn't mean that I don't love my mum.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that. But
So,
I still feel sorry, but I still feel with family, even down to your family, call out the bullshit. Call out the bullshit. So I'm just saying to you, disrespect is disrespect. Family or not, mum, brother or sister or not. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And being a parent, you don't get a free pass. You don't get a free, even if you birth me, respect is respect. You don't get a free pass when you're in the wrong. I'm sorry, that's me being real. Real, recognize real. Even if you're a parent, if you're my parent, you do something wrong, you don't get a free pass because you raised me. You don't. You raised me to have morals and respect. Yeah. If you are not even practicing what you taught me, you're getting it. Because I've got it. I've got integrity. I've got respect. If you've lost your values, you're getting it from me. I will say to you, you're out of line. Standard.
So you know when you can bring auntie in and tell.
Oh no, she knows. She knows. Listen, they know. They know. Make no mistake about it. I don't need to bring my mum here. They know. They know they get called out. If you're wrong,
you know what though? I reckon Nana runs the house. You know, I've heard you. You know, in the background.
No, listen. Let me tell you something. Look.
I think Nana is very, very bossy.
No, you know what it is, yeah. No, let me tell you something. You know what? Actually, it's the opposite. I'm someone whereby I'm not coming to you unless you present. The moment I'm only gonna come at you for necessary defense. If you come to me, be prepared for what you're gonna receive.
Nana, please, can you be a bit quiet, fam? Was you quiet the other day? Like, bruh, you, yeah. This is what you saying to your brother the other day. I know you.
Listen, let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something. You see me, back in the day or before, I had a high tolerance level. But you know what? I realized, my tolerance level, people, you're taking the piss. That tolerance level, I'm giving you a lot. But what you're doing now is that you're not actually liking what I'm giving you. So because I'm not liking what I'm giving you, cross that line, you're getting cut now. That's what it is for me. So my tolerance level has dropped. That's what it is, which is why I'm a lot more fiery now. Because the way I see it, if I'm giving you all this and I'm tolerating your BS, or I'm not saying nothing, or I'm letting things go, I've got older now. So what I'm doing now is I'm now that threshold of mine has significantly dropped now. My threshold is at the ceiling. Now it's nowhere near it. So I'm trying to say to you, because I believe that you're right, Kieran. I believe when it comes to family dynamics and all these sorts of things, yeah, family shouldn't be exempt from the rule when it comes to principle. You shouldn't.
100%.
Family should not be exempt from the rule. And I think sometimes what it is that we align, and even for me, because I'm even guilty of it, my respect used to stop me from opening my mouth a lot. It really did. Respect for me keeps me, in general, respect for me keeps me in check. It really does. If it's not the respect that I've got, I'm telling you, people would not like what I have to say. But my respect keeps me in check. So I will give you the respect. But it doesn't mean, because I give you the respect, if you are in the wrong, I'm not going to not say nothing. If you are in the wrong, I'm going to say categorically, you are in the wrong because of A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. End of the day, I get told I'm in the wrong all the time. So what? Because I'm the child, I should be like, okay, all right, cool. No, not really. I'm an adult as well. I've also got a voice. So if you're family and you're in the wrong, you should be called out. You should be accountable. 100%. You shouldn't be exempt. You shouldn't be exempt. Blood for me should not make you exempt from what's right and what's wrong. If you've got principles, if I'm telling you you're in the wrong, you should be able to take that. The same way I can take that, you should be able to take that too. With this woman here, she was banging out a line to be disrespectful towards her son's mum. You can't be telling your son's mum, F off, get in the fucking back. Who do you think you are?
Rude. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Who do you think you are?
If that was my mom she was talking to, I'm jumping at the car and
jump at the car. What's going on? You can't be saying, get in the fucking bitch, get in the fucking back. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're speaking to?
They do 3 doors in America. I think they do 4 doors. So I don't understand why. Do you know what?
It could be 1 door. Respect is respect.
But I'm just thinking, I feel like she only did that because she knew that she felt in her place that she was higher than the mother.
But you can't have that.
Not too sure what was
You're not higher than any man's mum. Period. You're not. But what would give her
respect? But they say that though. When you get married, your wife comes first.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the respect I have for my mum has gone.
Oh yeah,
because the same respect that I would give my in-laws is the same respect she's got to give her in-laws as well, the same way. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? My dad's got all the respect for my grandma and grandpa. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But that doesn't mean that if my grandma and grandpa are wrong, he's not gonna go and say, this is the reason why you're wrong. Because if my grandma and grandpa are wrong, he tells them, auntie and uncle, this is the reason why you're wrong. He ain't cussing them. He's saying the reason why you're wrong. ABC 1, 2, 3. They've still got respect for him. He's like, because the way he sees it, his own parents are not alive. My grandma, my mum's dad been dead for 20 years. His dad died when he was young. The in-laws are in anything. The next are the closest he's got to our mum and dad. So if he's calling them out, being wrong on them, he's not being disrespectful to them. And he's not cussing on saying, F you, F you, F you. He's saying, auntie and uncle, this is the reason why you're wrong. And he's doing it in a respectful manner.
Being petty as well. Because, really, you got to think about, how old, I don't know how old she is, isn't it? But
listen, she's in her 20s. She should know better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's just you're being very petty that you're actually arguing about who should sit in the front, who should sit in the back. If the mum is already sitting at the front, just go pop yourself in the back.
That's what I'm saying. Just get in the back.
Or if it's a real issue, and it's your car, then tell your man to sit at the back and drive. If you say this,
because you see the mum, So what the mum did, the mum said, I'm always going to be in his life, and she's like, absolutely not. She said, absolutely not, So maybe, yes, she triggered her, which is absolutely not, because she's like, I know that's your mum and everything. She should have been like, mum, but she said, I know that's your mum and everything. As far as I'm concerned, if that's your in-laws, that's our mum. That's our mum. Thank you. That's our mum as well. I've got my mum and I've got another one. That's our mum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she didn't say that. She said, I know that's your mum and everything. And that is where it went wrong. That's my thing. So I think for me, and the Real Supreme has said it, he said, my wife knows how I don't tolerate BS from anyone, including her mum, my mother, and her family. They know that too. And that's what it is. You set a precedent for everybody. Yeah, that is what it is. You set a precedent for everybody on both sides, whether it's your side of the family, or her side of the family. So for me, I'll set a precedent with my mum and dad. They know. If they're in the wrong, they know it today. They know if they're wrong, I'm calling them out. Yeah, respectfully. I ain't cussing them. I'm saying, mum and dad, but you're out of line here. I don't agree with you. You know you're out of line. Why? You're wrong. You can't tell me that you're not wrong. Agree to disagree, but I'll say to you, you're wrong. That's it. So you set a precedent for everybody. It's just like with your friends. If you've got friends, and your friends do something wrong, because of their friend, not going to go and say anything. No, you call them out when they're wrong. That doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you devalue your friendship. It just means to say, if you're true friends,
you're making them a better person.
You're making them better. If your friends are wrong, you should be able to tell your friends, you know what, you're wrong here. And that's it. You should be able to tell your friends that because you want to make them better. It's the same thing when it comes to your family. If your family are wrong, whether it's someone who's older than you or anything, it's how you actually approach it. Because I think people think challenging your parents is going all guns blazing. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a manner in which you can approach the situation. You can say to your parents in a way that you still keep your etiquette about you and your class about you.
It's more discussion.
It's more discussion.
Or debate.
Yeah, to say
Not
that
arguing.
this is the reason why, you know, I think that you're wrong. So I'm trying to say to you, she could have carried it differently when it comes to her mum-in-law about the car. The far I'm concerned,
100%.
it's a petty thing. It's petty thing, yeah. But
you know
already,
and what she, like, for me, if for instance, if the mother-in-law was the first person to be rude to me, I don't even need to be rude to you. I would just be very, what's that word? I'm very good at it. Patronizing, but in a very nice and smart
I
way.
would put it this way, yeah. If my in-law cussed me off, yeah, I'll be like, mum, or say it's like, mum, you know, I'll be like, mum, dad, yeah, I love you, but mum and dad, like, I think how you're speaking to me is wrong. Like, I don't think you should be speaking to me, mum and dad. I give you all the respect. Like, that's how I would attack it.
That's what I was saying. Kill them with niceness.
Yeah, kill them with niceness, mum and dad. I give you,
them, you know.
yeah, because I'm passive. Because I'm passive aggressive. I'll be like, mum and dad, I give you all the respect. Mum and dad, please, can you not speak to me like that, please? And you saying it in a way, and if they're cussing you off, I wouldn't even cuss them back. I wouldn't even go there. But I would be diplomatic about it and respectful. So then, in essence, I'll make them reflect, and they'll be like, you know what? He wasn't even rude to us, you know. He wasn't even hi Martha. He wasn't even rude to us. In terms of how he came and spoke to us, we were bad. You know what I'm saying? So you make your in-laws reflect and be like, actually, you know what? We apologize. That is the way to do it. But if you're going all guns blazing, you're never gonna get respect. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So for me, I think, you know, no matter what arena you're in, if your mum and your wife, or your mum and your husband are arguing, yes, you have a duty to intervene. You do. If one of them is in the wrong, you tell them. You tell one of them, actually, you know what, mum, I love you, but mum, you were in the wrong. So I'm trying to say to you, that is what you would need to do. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So I think for me,
what?
Oh, sorry, Jane, I have one. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what you would need to do for me. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would need to make sure you attack it in a way in a way that is respectful. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? A way that is respectful, and a way that they will still have that respect for you. So I'm trying to say to you, that is what you should be doing if you are going to deal with your in-laws. So I'm saying, but yes, you do have a duty. You do have a duty to make sure you do intervene and say what you need to say. You know, but that's just that's just my view. Oh yeah, I spoke highly of you today, Venice. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I just said, yeah, I did. That's not really a bombshell. I speak to Venice all the time. But thanks, Sabrina. Thanks, Sabrina.
What was you saying about me, Nana? Uncle, what was you saying about me? I'm a good
I'll just say you're very passionate, you're very driven. I like doing the meeting, the talk yabby, and all those sorts of things. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's fine. Yeah. I tell you all the time anyway.
Was he speaking about me the whole day?
I
was joking.
Yeah. No, well, we had an emergency. We had an emergency in it. We had a lot of emergencies. So, but that's just my view on it. You know, I mean, I don't think you're wrong for intervening. No, I mean, unless anybody else thinks you're wrong for intervening, I think you can actually speak to your parents, and yeah, you can challenge them. Just make sure you command yourself well. Do you know what I mean? That's just my take on it. You know, so yeah. So guys, what do you think? Do you think would you intervene with your parents? You know, if it was your in-laws, would you intervene? Yeah.
we're going to McDonald's though.
Huh?
Nothing, don't worry.
You said we're gonna go on what? You're gonna go on what yesterday? Really? You're gonna bring this into this live? You're gonna really bring this, Venice?
I'm just.
This Venice, we're not doing this tonight, yeah.
I'm
We're
just
not doing it, Venice. We're not doing this
about
tonight.
the comments.
Yeah, Venice, we're not on that anymore. Venice, we're not talking about yesterday's one. We're not talking about McDonald's, yeah. Because Venice, we're gonna clash today.
I'm just responding to the comments.
All right, cool. So, what's your take then? Would you intervene? Your husband is your husband is talking to your dad. Is clashing with your dad.
Oh no, I don't like my dad. So.
Okay. Your husband.
My stepdad. Even my stepdad. I would be like, I'll be like, why? Like, what is it? Like, you're clashing. But I know how my stepdad is anyway, so I'll be like, he's kind of moany anyway, sometimes. But I'll be like, I would say why? Like, what's going on? Like,
okay.
What's the problem?
All right. So all right. Okay. But but how would you tackle it then?
I'm asking you what the problem is.
All right then. Okay. All right. Let's get a scenario. It's me and you now, yeah? And I'm going to pick you up, innit? And say, Venice, we're going to go for dinner. You said that's like, Venice, no, why is this guy coming and taking you? I'll be like, why are you coming and saying I can't take my wife out? What's wrong with you? Yeah, and it'll be clash.
Say that scenario again. So I keep reading the comments. So say that scenario again. I'm not gonna.
I said, imagine it's me and you, yeah. It's me and you, yeah. So I'm gonna go and take you out to go and eat, yeah. Your stepdad, say you had a pre-booked event or something like that, yeah, and you forgot about it. I said, oh, Venice, I'll take you out to go and eat, yeah. I come roll up, pick you up. Oh, bye, dad. Where you going? Go out with Nana. Why? He's taking you.
He's like him and my mum like broke up ages ago, but I still call him dad out of respect. So
okay, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, let's just keep the scenario going. Okay. I want to go and pick you up. Yeah, I'll just keep the scenario going. I want to go and pick you up, and then he's not happy with it, and I'll be like, why are you trying to control your daughter's life for what? I'm taking her out. What's wrong with you? Why? Now you ain't talking my daughter out. Why? She's a big woman. I'm taking her out. What is this? How would you intervene?
Well, what was his reaction first for you to do that? What was his reaction? You didn't say his reaction. You just said.
So I'm coming to pick you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, but why? And he's like, oh, why are you going out, Nella? And I'm like, but I'm going to take her out to dinner. You got a problem with that? Or so I don't even say that. He said, but I'm doing something with my daughter. I said, I know she's your daughter, but I'm taking her out. So what's the problem? And then
I would be like, Nana, as the younger person and the more, you know when old people, when they get older, they go a bit sexy now. And then you could have handled that a bit different. You could have said, oh, my bad, I didn't realise I already put the table and everything. And there's like a conversation. Like, I feel like, I feel like younger people they should have more control when it comes to like old people. I'm not saying that you should stand for disrespect, but I mean, like, in that situation, you could have just been like, oh, sorry, I didn't know, I wasn't aware, sorry, I already booked the table. Even lie, oh, I already booked the table and put a deposit down, like, and then I would have stepped in and said, oh, sorry, Dad, maybe next time. Then it'll be my duty to say sorry because it's nothing to do with you.
Right, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
It won't have nothing to do with you whatsoever for you to even say anything, really, because it's me that has an agreement with both of you. So it's my choice what I want to do, and he wouldn't be mad at you. He would be mad at me, if anything.
Right.
And if it was, it's daughter and father, so you shouldn't even say anything whatsoever. So don't even say anything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to say that we're not all family or anything. I don't want to say, oh yeah, it's my family, but it's our situation. I will handle it. But if you jump in now, then you may be causing it to be a problem that is not.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
He's just gonna be annoyed. But then if you start jumping in with attitude, like, what is there a problem? Now you're gonna get him mad, and then I'll blame it on you because really I would have said to you, you should have just kept your mouth shut.
Yeah,
And
and don't go and say anything in it.
Basically, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's down to the situation, and I think, you know, it's not sometimes peace is better than being right. And I think that you have to be mindful of what arguments you're willing, and I agree with Cags, what arguments you know, you're willing to engage in. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes when it comes to relationships and your in-laws, I know it can be very difficult because you love your in-laws, and then you love your own parents, and then you love the person that you're with as well. So it can be difficult, but I think if you carry yourself in a certain manner, you should be able to diffuse the situation. But I think a lot of people, that the issues is that I don't think many people carry themselves in a way whereby they're able to not diffuse the situation, but they're not able to approach it in a way that both parties can be kind of amenable or be appeased. And I think that's what it is, because some people might be like, well, you stay, because some people might stay in the middle and be like, you know what, as the Real Supreme said, if he's still here, until you cross that line, I'm going to wait and then see what happens, and then I'm going to go and jump in. Because sometimes you don't want to be too hasty, jump in and you get it wrong. So you might want to sit back and observe what's going on.
As if it's like if it's your wife and your mum, or as if it's her dad and your wife.
So if it's her dad
and your wife
and they're arguing,
yeah. So is it that you're just gonna sit back and just be quiet and just let them do what they do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Some people do that, but for me, I wouldn't do that. I think you have a duty to put your foot to get a stranglehold of it, or have a foothold of situation.
I say yes and I say no at the same time as well. I feel like if it was a thing where you and your mum were having a discussion and it gets into a little argument or whatever, I might say to you, Nana, you need to chill. She may be in the wrong, but your tones, you know, but I just feel like as mother and son, I'm going to stay out of it. Like, you know, when two siblings have an argument?
Yeah.
And they're not your siblings? I'm going to stay out of it. This is what they do. It's whatever. I stay out of it. Because before me...
Yeah. I agree. But the approach, Venice, but I agree with you. But I think, Venice, but the approach is important, because I think it's like when the way I see it, it's like driving a car. When you drive a car and you're coming to a junction, you don't just go and drive. You go. Sorry. Yeah. What I'm saying is, sorry about that. I was saying it's like when you're driving a car. When you drive a car and you go to a junction, you don't just go and drive through. You approach the junction. Yeah. You go into gear 1 and you check to see if the road is clear, and then you drive off.
Gear 1. Going still in gear 2.
No. But I'm saying no. But I'm saying, but good driving is that when you come, yeah. Nana's just teething people's point.
You actually say gear 2 until you stop, and then you change to gear 1.
Listen, when you approach the junction, you're in gear 2, but then when you stop, you go to gear 1.
What? While you're right in the middle of the junction?
I mean, okay, if you're coming to the end of the road, you're gonna turn left, turn right. Yeah, you're approaching the junction. Yeah, there's gonna be oncoming cars, right, left and right. You need to make sure the road is clear, innit? That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that your approach is also important.
He does. I like, you know what? He does.
Yeah, but Yowande's always gonna say that. Yowande will always say that.
She's correct because what Yowande will do, he'll look down, see, and then he'll read exactly what, and then make it like it's his.
I didn't say that though.
Yowande
really? Yeah. And that's why Yowande don't want to come paintballing, because she knows they're popping her off because of things like this. That's why. It's not plagiarism. Listen, there ain't no university faculty thing, nothing. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it's your approach, innit? Your approach is important, in terms of how you're going to approach the situation. So when it comes to your parents and it comes to your partner, you've got to approach it and attack it in a certain way to deal with both of them. Yeah. Have it in your mind that nobody's exempt from being caught up when you're wrong. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? No one should be exempt. And it doesn't matter if it's your mum or if it's your dad. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah, you be finished. Check a slide.
He's gonna be struggling now.
Yeah, you be finished. Checkered flag.
He's
Checkered
gonna
flag.
look down and be like, "Oh, how can I rewrite this?"
Yeah. But anyway, checkered flag. Yeah. But yeah, you it's just about your approach really, and obviously just make sure that nobody's exempt from the rule. Nobody's exempt from being called out when you're right or when you're wrong.
No, 100%. And you know what? As well, like if I felt like his mum was being rude to me or whatever, I wouldn't say anything then and there. I will go and say to like my partner, "Oh, you know your mum, she made a comment. I wasn't really feeling it. Like I'm not too sure." Does
Would
she
you
like
approach the
me?
mum? Would you approach her and be like, "Auntie or mum, look, can I speak to you quickly?" You know.
No. What I'll do first, I think I'll speak to this. I don't know what I've never been in that situation because a lot of parents do tend to like me.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't know if I would approach him first, because then she'll feel like, oh, why should go to him for where she could just come to me?
That's what it is, because sometimes some parents say, why not go to the source?
Yeah, and stuff. But then I will have to go back and think about, because sometimes I could go and say something and then actually think, but actually know that it wasn't even a thing. She didn't even mean it like that. Because you can act too fast and it could have been, it's not what you think it was.
Right.
You could have read it different, how she said, you know, like when you receive a text, yeah, and read it, and you're just like, raw, you know that person's being rude or not. So sometimes, like, don't have such a fast reaction. Maybe digest what that person said that made you triggered. Proper digest it, or that action, and be like, actually, yeah.
But can I ask you a question though? But do
yeah.
you feel also that with, say, parents as well, when their son or daughter is bringing somebody round or your wife or anything, do you feel that parents do have a little bit of a duty of care to be accommodating? To
be fair, it's who is as a person. So I don't feel like you have to be accommodating. I feel like if your parent is already that kind of vibe, like for instance, yeah, I could bring anyone to my house. My mom's got a very bubbly personality. So like all the guys that I have like was seen and everything, they didn't feel any type of way. Even my friends, like mama will hug them, and you know, my mom's very
your mom's accommodating.
Yeah, he's very jokey.
She's jokey, yeah.
It's not that she's a fact that she's accommodating. That's just her personality.
Yeah.
So like, cats will know. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, she's just that type of person. So it's not like, oh, it's being forced, or do you know what I mean? So I feel like if that's if that's your personality and you're a very people's person, it would be natural. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
If you're not that type of person in general, I feel like you're not going to be that accommodating, or it's going to be kind of forced and stuff like that. Are you frozen or am I frozen? Who's frozen, guys?
Vinny's, I'm back here. Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was me. But yeah. So so I feel like, and if your parent, let's say, have that type of social skills or that type of personality, then it's gonna, you're not gonna, oh, is it me? All right, guys. So anyway, so yeah, so she's not gonna be that accommodating. Oh, let me put my leg. Look at me getting uncomfortable and shit. Amen. Look at me. I need to close my legs. Phone's popping off tonight, innit? Nana vanished. Oh look, he's come back. That is too funny. Let me just put my legs down. Look at me in my little kente skirt. Yeah, and I can put my legs back up again.
You okay, yeah?
But yeah,
you know what? How much time have we got left?
No, we're not going on Zoom. We've got 8 minutes.
Yeah, because you don't want to go on Zoom and I don't want to put your face on there.
You lot, just Ryan.
Clive.
So I was gonna say, yeah. So if she's not that, so if your mum is not that accommodating or whatnot,
yeah.
I mean, sorry, if she doesn't have great sociable skills, and she's not a social or like, you know, a bubbly person or whatnot, she's not gonna be accommodating. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
stuff like that. So do you know what, I feel like it really depends. So like with my mum, anyone could bring to the house. She's just a nice person. However, it's only the only thing, and I love my mom for it, to be fair. But I was like, I wish she can tell me, you know. But it's like when I like say if I split up with a person or I stop talking to a person, she'd be like, yeah, I saw that, I saw their energy, like I saw things that I didn't like about them, but she will never let that person know, which is good because like, can you imagine if she did, that person would never want to come to my house.
Well, this is the thing, yeah, because I think that's one thing. I think with parents as well, if something's off and then you giving them a frosty reception, it's not going to want them want to come to your house.
Huh?
It's, as you said, it's not going to make the person want to come to the house back.
Trust me, like I feel like if someone gave me like a funny, like if I came to your house and your mom was really funny with me, whatever, I'm like, I'm not going to this house again.
You wouldn't want to come here because you don't
no,
because you don't think the environment's healthy.
Yeah, I'd be like, why am I going to now? Because if I like meet in the hallway, it's gonna be so awkward. I'm gonna say hi, like bye, bye, hi, and see again, hi. Like it's just like because
it's fake, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to be able to sit there. Like when I go to my friend's house, my friend's all the way upstairs. And I'm having I got sweat patches. I'm all there having big conversation with her mum, and my friend's like, "Oh, we're gonna leave now." I'm just like, I'm talking. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, I don't know, man. I think for
me, it's a situation, as I said before, he's saying chefs, I think for me, Venice, it all depends on how you approach it.